Young Ethan Weiler is a young man consumed by the obsession of uncovering his family's lost history. His father mysteriously disappeared when Ethan was a child, and Ethan knows nothing about his family's past. Genetic memory technology is a revolutionary invention that allows people to genetically inherit the memories of their ancestors. Ethan sees an opportunity to discover his father's and family's lost past through this technology. One day, while Ethan is working in the university's biotechnology lab, he receives an email about the genetic memory device. The device has a dark side effect. When memories from many ancestors start to merge within a person's consciousness, that person's identity begins to blur and eventually disappear. However, this risk does not stop Ethan. He is determined to find out the truth behind his father's disappearance. Ethan wants to use this dangerous technology to learn about his family's lost history, but he realizes that he must also take the risk of losing his own identity. His friend Cassandra tries to dissuade him from this idea. "Ethan, this is too dangerous," Cassandra said, her eyes glistening with worry. "If you use it, you might forget who you are." But Ethan remained determined. "I have to find out the truth behind my father's disappearance," he said. "This is the only way to learn about our family's past." Ethan secretly takes the genetic memory device from the lab and, one night, uploads his family's memories into the device. At first, everything seems fine. His father's youthful memories, his grandfather's experiences during the war, and his great-grandmother's story of emigrating to America. Ethan starts piecing together the lost history of his family. But then, the memories start becoming blurry and complex. Ethan begins to feel that his own memories are disappearing. "Who is this?" he muttered, looking at his own reflection. For a moment, the face in the mirror seemed unfamiliar. As Ethan delves deeper into his family's memories, he feels his identity slowly beginning to fade. Under the weight of the intense memories, his mind cannot distinguish who Ethan is and who is a member of his family. One night, while living through his great-grandmother's arduous journey to America, Ethan finds himself on the deck of a ship. The waves rock the ship, and he starts to feel the cries of old women and children, the merciless waves of the sea. This isn't my memory," Ethan said, his hands trembling. But he cannot escape that memory. Surrounded by memories, Ethan, in a way, becomes Elizabeth. Cassandra can no longer ignore Ethan's condition and decides to visit him at his home. When Ethan opens the door, his face looks unfamiliar. His eyes are filled with someone else's memories. "Ethan, are you okay?" Cassandra asked, her eyes filled with concern. Ethan hesitates for a moment, then nods. "I don't know. Even my own memories are getting blurry. I don't know which memories are mine and which are theirs," he said. Cassandra decides to take Ethan to the lab. Maybe they can find a way to help him distinguish the memories. However, when they arrive at the lab, the extent of the chaos created by the device becomes more apparent. The memories begin to rapidly shift and transform in Ethan's mind. Suddenly, he finds himself in the middle of a battle in World War II with his grandfather, John. Gunshots deafen his ears, the ground slides from under his feet, and he gets lost amidst exploding bombs and screaming soldiers. "Ethan, you have to stay here," Cassandra shouted, trying to bring him back to reality. But Ethan can no longer hear. The fear and pain that John felt resonate inside Ethan. Holding a gun and caught under enemy fire, Ethan is in total shock. "This isn't my fight," he shouted, but his voice was lost in the noise of the battle. Cassandra connects to the computer systems to bring Ethan back to reality. She tries to track the signals going to Ethan's brain and devises a strategy to pull him back. But this is not easy at all. Ethan is trapped in different time periods and memories of different people. As Cassandra tries to locate Ethan, the lab's security systems suddenly activate. The company has noticed that Ethan has used the device illegally and sends security forces to take control of the situation. The heavy doors of the lab open, and a group of armed security officers enters. Cassandra quickly gets up from the computer and tries to wake Ethan. "Ethan, you have to wake up. Right now," she said, but Ethan's eyes were still closed, his mind trapped in the middle of the battle. As the security officers approach, Cassandra has to disconnect the device to save Ethan. But just at that moment, Ethan's mind shifts to another memory. This time, he goes to the day his father disappeared. His father is standing in a lab in front of a door that opens to another dimension. "Dad," Ethan whispers, seeing his father clearly for the first time. His father turns to him and says, "Ethan, you shouldn't be here." But just then, his father disappears in a flash of light. Cassandra shakes Ethan's body to try to wake him up. "Please, Ethan, come to your senses," she said, tears streaming down her cheeks. Ethan slowly opens his eyes. "I saw my dad. I really saw him," he said in a weak voice. But the security officers have already reached them. Cassandra and Ethan are cornered inside the lab. As the security guards approach to capture them, Cassandra makes an unexpected move. She presses a small device in her hand, locking the lab doors and disabling the security systems. "This place won't be safe for long," Cassandra said, looking at Ethan. "We need to get out of here." Ethan slowly stands up and nods in agreement. "Okay, but we have to come back to find my father. I really saw him. We can save him." Cassandra takes a deep breath and says, "I believe you, Ethan. But first, we need to get out of here." As the security guards start forcing the door open, Ethan and Cassandra begin to run toward the back exit of the lab. With every step, Ethan's mind becomes clearer, and he starts to remember who he is and regain his identity. However, his determination to solve the mystery behind the memory of his father's disappearance grows stronger. Cassandra and Ethan manage to escape from the lab. Now, they have to embark on a new journey to uncover the mystery behind his father's disappearance. Ethan has regained his sense of self and has learned the answers to many questions about his family's lost past. But these answers bring new questions. What was the experiment that led to his father's disappearance? Which dimension had he crossed into? And more importantly, how could they bring him back? With the genetic memory device, their only clue in hand, Cassandra and Ethan set out to unravel a deeper mystery. A single thought echoes in Ethan's mind: "I will bring my father back, no matter what it takes." This decision will reshape Ethan's identity and life. However, an adventure filled with dangers and unknowns awaits them on this path. I hope you had a good time. If you liked my story, do not forget to comment and subscribe to my channel. Goodbye, see you in the next story.